Hey everybody, welcome back to Moving Matt. We do vlogs, travel, and some camera stuff. And today we have some interesting news, or rather rumors, coming out of Canon Watch. And so right now this is kind of just very much in the rumor mill. I'll kind of talk a little bit about what the rumor is, and then I'll give my thoughts on whether I think this is at all legitimate, and then I will also kind of give my thoughts on how I feel about it if it is true. So the rumor coming out here is that there's going to be two more R5s coming out. One being extremely high resolution camera for more stills and landscape photography. And the other, which is a little bit more interesting to me, is a video-centric type camera, similar to thinking about the A7S III. So the way the rumor is kind of going is they're saying that Canon's going to be following the model that Panasonic followed and that Sony has followed, where they have, you know, your A7 III, which is kind of your catch-all camera, and then you have your A7S III, which is very primarily for video, and then you have your A7R, which is focused primarily on resolution for photographers. And this is really interesting, and I'll go through a couple of the specs. This is pretty new news, so I'm going to actually just read off the specs here. So Canon Watch is tentatively calling this the EOS R5C and the EOS R5S. So the R5C will be the video-centric type camera, and it will have half the resolution of the R5. So, I mean, that's close to, I guess, 22.5 would be the megapixel count of that. They say that it will do 4K 120, and this is kind of interesting to me. I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of this would be, or if this is necessarily a good thing. They say it will be 2.8K oversampled in Super 35 mode, which kind of seems a little odd to me, considering, you know, we've been doing 5K and, you know, 4K and 8K even with the R5. So I don't exactly know how this is all playing in, but the rumor is that basically this is going to be their video-centric camera, and it's going to come with a heatsink that will hopefully mitigate those overheating issues that have been coming out with the R5 and the R6, which a heatsink alone, if you know anything about computers, won't help the thing unless there's some ventilation. So presumably there would be a lot of ventilation in this thing as well. Now quickly over to the higher resolution camera, they're saying that it will be a 80 megapixel sensor. So it will have an extremely high megapixel count, and it will be shooting at 12 frames per second as well. So that's really interesting if true, even though I think 45 megapixels is really all you would ever need. But I think since Canon is very focused on the photographer, especially in their DSLR style, or rather mirrorless now, I think that they could want to regain that title of having the highest megapixels. And since this has the same processor that is in the R5, this is definitely a possibility for them to do something like this. That's the one that seems like it makes kind of some sense to me. But the EOS R5 video-centric type camera, I mean, I'm not really seeing the idea here. And I think that the R5 is an excellent video camera as it is, as well as you have the R6. So where does the R6 play in here? And the difference being with a lot of the other camera companies is you have, for example, the Sony A7 III, and it's more of that entry level around the $2,100. And then you have the A7R4, which is close to the $3,500 mark, along with the A7S III, which is close to the $3,500 mark. But if you have the R5, it's not really an entry camera, even if it's a hybrid. It's a high-end entry-level camera. It's at $3,800. You have the R6, which is an entry-level type camera, and that's at $2,600. So if you basically just cut the resolution in half, you're pretty much right where the R6 sensor is. You have pretty much the same processor. The only difference is that you would maybe have this new heat sink, but I think there's so much they can do with firmware. I just think it's a little premature for them to announce something like this, or even really be in the talks of something like this. But maybe this is at least a year out, and this is something that they're wanting to do. I just don't exactly understand their marketing strategy here, and personally I feel like I would rather them put their energy into these new cameras that they literally just released and make them the best possible cameras they can. And that really feels a little weird. It really does seem like, hey, Canon's crippling the R5 and the R6 so that they can come out with this video-centric camera. As whereas if you want to bring in the 80 megapixel sensors, that does feel like, okay, well, this is a different type of camera for a different type of shooter. It's a completely different sensor. And so that would make more sense to me. I don't know what they would have to offer with the other video-centric camera that you can't get in the R5. Basically just saying it's going to be the R5 without the 8K, and it's going to be better low light and it's not going to overheat. But in a way, that's what the R6 should be, in my opinion. So where do you guys stand on this? Do you think this sounds like a good idea? Do you think this sounds like something that Canon's gonna do? I can see that higher megapixel camera coming to fruition, but I'm really not sure about this video-centric camera. I was interested in buying the R5, but this is gonna give me a little bit of pause, because if they're gonna have a more video-centric R5, that might be the one for me. So what do you guys think? Does this excite you? Does this upset you? Do you think this is real? Do you think this is complete bogus? I just heard about this report. I wanted to get it out to everybody and maybe start a conversation about it. If you've liked this video, you like some camera stuff, and I do a lot of travel and vlogs. If you like that type of content, be sure to give a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, peace.